Welcome back, students, to our 8th lesson today for the 6th standard English language crash course by Ma Tutorials. My name is Anmol and I am your guide through this journey of the English language. You must remember we started off with the kinds of sentences, moved on to the parts of speech, covered nouns in 2 days, then we did pronouns, we did adjectives, we did verbs. Now we are moving on to adverbs. Now adverbs is our next kind of part of speech, and we would be covering 2 topics in adverbs today and the kinds of adverbs. Without any further delay, let's get right into the topic. So the definition of adverbs first: a word that adds some meaning to a verb, an adjective or another adverb is called an adverb. So any word that adds some meaning to either a verb, to an adjective or to another adverb is called an adverb. Example, Rama runs quickly. So quickly is the adverb here, which is telling us about the verb run. Rama runs quickly. Quickly is the adverb here, and it is telling us about which word here? Run. And what is runs here? The verb. So what is it modifying here? It is adding some meaning to a verb. Next, Shweta reads quite clearly. Quite is the adverb here. Clearly is the adverb as well for the verb reads, and quite is further modifying clearly. Therefore, quite is also an adverb which is modifying another adverb, as we saw here. This is a very sweet apple. A very sweet. So what is it modifying? It is modifying sweet. What kind of sweet? Very sweet. Now sweet, you must remember, since it is modifying a noun, it is adding meaning to a noun, is an adjective. Yes, sweet is an adjective. It is modifying a noun apple, and very is then modifying or adding more meaning to the word sweet to an adjective. Hence, very is an adverb here. So you must see a word that adds some meaning to either a verb, an adjective or another adverb is called an adverb. Let's move ahead to kinds of adverbs. We'll see there are 8 kind of adverbs that we'll be covering today. Adverbs of manner, adverbs of time, adverbs of place, adverbs of frequency, adverbs of degree or quantity, interrogative adverbs, adverbs of affirmation or negation, and relative adverbs. So we've got these 8 kinds of adverbs. Let's dig into them one at a time, starting with the adverbs of manner. Now the words which show how the work is done, how, when they show how something is being done, those words are known as adverbs of manner. They show the manner in which something is being done, how something is being done. Like something is being done quickly, slowly, hard, well, thus, bravely, happily, etc. The soldiers fought bravely. How did they fight? How did they fight? They fought bravely. It is answering the question of how. It shows how the work is done. How did they fight? They fight bravely. They ran fast. How did they run? How did they run? They ran fast. The students work hard to get good marks. How do the students work? What kind of work do they do? How do the students work? What is the manner of the work? It is hard work. The students work hard to get good marks. It was thus stated. It was thus stated. That means it was stated like this. Thus here means like this. It was stated in this manner. So how was it stated? Thus stated. It must be pointed at something, or it must be followed by some other thing which was said. So it was thus stated. We are well settled. How are we settled? Well settled. So you'll see the words here. They're showing how the work is done. Hence they are known as adverbs of manner. Let's move on to our next kind. Adverbs of time. Adverbs of time. Now the words which indicate something about the time of incident. Whatever is happening, if a word tells about the time of the incident or the state of being, etc. If it is talking about the time, then it is an adverb of time. For example, today, daily, yesterday, tomorrow, now, before, soon, never, late, etc. So today, daily, yesterday, tomorrow, now, before, soon, never, late, etc. These are all words that are indicating something about the time of an incident or a state. For example, he will come today. So when will he come? He will come today. She wrote the letter yesterday. When did she write the letter? She wrote the letter yesterday. She goes to school daily or every day. She goes to school daily. He gets up early in the morning. He gets up early in the morning. When does he get up? He gets up early in the morning. So all these words are telling about the time of the incident. He will come when? Today. Wrote the letter when? Yesterday. Goes to school how often? When? Daily. And gets up when? Early in the morning. These are adverbs of time. Let's move on to our next one. Adverbs of place. As the name suggests, it talks about where the action takes place. It talks about the place, it talks about the place or where the action takes place. Here, there, above, outside, inside, everywhere, somewhere, forward, etc. are such words that talk about where the action takes place. Hence, they are adverbs of place. For example, the boys are waiting outside. Where are the boys waiting? The boys are waiting outside. He lives here. He lives here. He is standing there. He is standing there. Come forward. Come forward. So outside could also become a preposition if it is followed by a noun. If I say the boys are waiting outside the classroom, then it will become a preposition there. But since it is not being followed by a noun, it is not connecting a noun to the rest of the sentence. Therefore, it is an adverb here, an adverb of place. The boys are waiting outside. Where are they waiting? They're telling more about waiting, adding some meaning to the verb waiting outside, adding some meaning to the verb lives here, adding some meaning to the verb standing there, adding some meaning to the verb come where? Forward. So all of these words, they are adding meaning, telling about where an action is taking place. Hence they are adverbs, and hence they are adverbs of place. Let's move on to our fourth one. Adverbs of frequency. Now the words which show how many times the action takes place. What is frequency? Frequency is how many times something takes place. For example, if you brush your teeth once a day, the frequency of you brushing your teeth is once per day. The frequency is how often something is done. If a word tells about how many times an action takes place, it is called an adverb of frequency. For example, never. How often? Never. Generally, often, seldom, occasionally, or as specific as twice, once, thrice, 4 times, etc. She visited me twice. How many times? Twice. You are always late. How often are you late? Always. He often makes mistakes. How often? Often. Quite often. Barking dogs seldom bite. Barking dogs seldom bite. Seldom means not often. Seldom is the opposite of often. You will also see adverbs have opposites as well. Like adjectives, adverbs as well have. Alright, you will find that adverbs also have antonyms like quickly, slowly, etc. Alright, let's do a quick revision. Adverbs of manner. Words that tell about how a work is done. Then we moved on to adverbs of time that indicate something about the time or when something has been done. Then we talk about adverbs of place or where something has been done. And then we moved on to adverbs of frequency of how many times, how often or how many times an action has been performed. Let's move on to adverbs of degree now. So the words which show quantity or degree, etc. The degree of something, the quantity of something are called adverbs of degree. For example, well, to, rather, extremely, much, more, less, etc. He was very tired. How tired was he? He was very tired. So this shows the degree of something, of how much something is. That is why it's called an adverb of degree. Adverb of quantity or degree. He was nearly exhausted. Nearly, almost. Nearly means almost. He was almost exhausted. So how much exhausted? How exhausted was he? He was nearly exhausted. He is quite strong. So the how here being answered is how much. How much strength does he have? He is quite strong. How strong? Quite strong. The cup was nearly full. The spelling is incorrect here. It should be full. F-U-L-L. The cup was nearly full. It was not nearly a fool. The cup couldn't have been a fool. The cup is a non-living thing. Adverbs of degree. Nearly also means almost. Nearly exhausted, nearly full. Then we move on to interrogative adverbs. Now the words which ask a question about the action. Interrogative, we've already studied it too many times. We must remember what interrogative means. Interrogative means something that is used to ask a question or a question in itself. Interrogative. Interrogative adverb. The words which ask a question about the action. When, where, why, how. Mostly are the same words being used in different contexts. When they are used with nouns, they are adjectives, and with verbs, they become adverbs. When did he come? When did he come? Where did he go? How are you? How are you? Why are you late? Why are you late? Interrogative adverbs. We moved on to our second last kind. Adverbs of affirmation or negation. Now affirmation means to say something is. Affirmation means to say that something is, and negation means to say that something is not. Affirmation, negation. To affirm something, to negate something. Affirmation, negation. Affirm something, negate something. The words which express the sense of affirmation or negation, which either affirm something or negate something. For example, surely, certainly, obviously, hardly, yes, no, not. The use is she will come surely. It's an affirmation. She will come surely. He certainly went to your place. An affirmation. He certainly went to your place. Obviously he is mistaken. Obviously he is mistaken. An affirmation. He hardly comes to me anymore. A negation. He hardly comes to me anymore. He hardly comes to me anymore. He doesn't come enough. I want him to come more often. He hardly comes to me anymore. Adverbs of affirmation or negation. Things that either say yes or no, that affirm something, say that something is, or negate something, say that something is not. Surely, certainly, obviously, hardly, yes, no, not. And for our last kind of adverb for today, relative adverbs. Now these adverbs which show the relation between two subjects, they will sound like the interrogative adverbs, but here they are not being used to ask a question. Here these WH words are not being used to ask a question, they are being used to show a relation between the two subjects. They are showing a relation between the two subjects, that is why they are called relative adverbs. Example, the day when they arrived was very hot. So it's showing relation between two subjects, the day and they. The day when they arrived was very hot. The hotel where they are staying is not good. The hotel where they are staying is not good. Again, establishing a relation between two subjects. The reason why she was turned down out of the college is not known. The reason why she is turned out of the college is not known. We do not know why the college did not accept her. She was a good student perhaps. She scored well as well perhaps. The interview also went well, she thought. But we do not know why she wasn't chosen. The reason why she was turned out of the college is not known. Turned out of the college, not accepted. She was born in the year when I left Agra. She was born in the year when I left Agra. So she was born in the same year, the year that I left Agra. Let's do a quick revision of all that we covered today. We started with adverbs. Two parts of adverbs we were doing today, definition and kind. We started with definition. Words that add some meaning to a verb, adjective or another adverb is called an adverb. So any word that adds meaning to either a verb, another adjective, or another adverb is an adverb. Then we moved on to the 8 kinds of adverbs we saw: adverbs of manner, time, place, frequency, degree, quantity, interrogative adverbs, adverbs of affirmation or negation, and relative adverbs. Adverbs of manner show us how something is done. Adverbs of time show us when something is done. Adverbs of place show us where something is done. Adverbs of frequency show us how many times or how often something is done. Adverbs of degree show how much of something is, the degree, the quantity, how much. Interrogative adverbs used to ask a question. Adverbs of affirmation or negation to state something that is or not, to affirm or deny, to express the sense of affirmation or negation. And lastly, relative adverbs, the words which show relation between two subjects. Make sure you're revising all your chapters. If there is anything that you do not remember from the last few lectures, make sure you're going through all the worksheets and even going through the resources, other resources that are being provided to you. I hope this was able to clear a lot about adverbs for you, and it will help you a lot in your examinations as well. Until next time, I will see you again in the next one.